Good afternoon and welcome to the news at midday. I am Mojisola Sholaja. President Bola Tinubu has directed the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, to give Nigerians a detailed account of the federal government's economic reforms since 2023. Tinubu said the administration's reforms, although difficult, were undertaken to build a stronger economy and improve the country's long-term prospects. In a statement, the president said Nigerians deserved to know what the reforms had achieved, what they had cost, and the potential economic damage they had prevented. He said the administration had promised at the beginning of the reform program that difficult decisions would ultimately serve the interests of Nigerians and future generations. The president specifically tasked Oyedele with explaining the figures behind the reforms, the choices made by the administration, progress recorded so far, and areas where work remained. Meanwhile, Nigeria saved 15.8 trillion naira from the removal of the petrol subsidy between June 2023 and December 2025. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Taiwo Oyedele, disclosed this during a media conference on the scorecard of the federal government reforms between 2023 and 2026. According to him, the subsidy savings mobilized 15.8 trillion naira in resources for the Federation within the period under review. He explained that the federal government received 5.4 trillion naira of the amount, while 10.4 trillion naira was shared among states and local governments. Oyedele added that the federal government generated 3.1 trillion naira in incremental independent revenue, mainly through remittances from government-owned entities. He said the government's total incremental resources from subsidy savings, independent revenue, and additional borrowing stood at 20.4 trillion naira. According to the minister, the reforms were not primarily introduced to increase government revenue, but to tackle what he described as entrenched corruption in Nigeria's fuel subsidy and foreign exchange markets. Away from national stories, as part of the Ogun State House of Assembly Public Accounts and Anti-Corruption Committee's efforts to reposition Plant Gate Equipment Hire Services Limited, the committee has carried out on-the-spot follow-up visit to the company to meet its primary responsibility as an equipment leasing company. The House Committee, led by the chairman, Honorable Damilare Bello, while being conducted round the company by the Director, Engineering Services, Engineer Gabriel Oshofa, stated that the visit was a follow-up from the consideration of the Auditor General's report on the company. Honorable Bello disclosed that the Assembly was committed to assisting the company review the law establishing it to meet the current reality, especially in repositioning the company for efficient service as a self-sufficient company. He charged the management of the company to furnish the Assembly with the necessary details required to facilitate its assignment, while re-emphasizing the need to step up security measures around the company. Receiving the committee, Engineer Oshofa assured that all necessary information requested will be provided to enable the Assembly carry out its activities, stating that the company was established to provide lease services and serve as a self-sustaining firm under the Gateway Holding. And now to foreign story. Iran's armed forces warned Gulf countries against assisting the U.S. military hours after the United Arab Emirates announced it was severing economic ties with Tehran following new attacks on shipping U.S. President Donald Trump has earlier said he was launching a major new campaign to target Iran's economy, threatening tremendous punishment on any country that helps or does business with the Islamic Republic. The intensified economic pressure campaign comes as the war nears its sixth month with no immediate diplomatic or military off-ramp in sight, and the vital Strait of Hormuz so significantly choked off. And still talking foreign, Prince Harry and Meghan intend to relocate from the United States later this month to a private, non-royal residence outside London. The couple's children, Prince Archie, 7, and Princess Lilibet, 5, are enrolled to start at a British school in September. King Charles was told of the move on Sunday. There are no current plans for either Prince Harry or Meghan to resume their roles as working royals. The Sussexes and their children visited the king at his Highgrove home in July this year, but it is understood the move was not discussed. And now to sport, Nick Kyrgios has been provisionally suspended from tennis after testing positive for cocaine. The Australian submitted a sample during the Mallorca Open on 22nd June that was later of the tribunal. To end the news at midday, anyone who has ever made anything of importance was disciplined. We have come to the end of the news at midday. Many thanks for watching. Stay with us as we bring you Ìròyìn. Good afternoon.